Nice to meet
Nice
you,
to meet
Kathy.
you.
Deva, I'm Sales Manager.
Okay. So, I'm Thomas Rotsaert. I'm a sales representative at Microsoft CRM Dynamics. Can I have a seat?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm really glad to be here in a real entrepreneurial company, Belgian company. I'm really glad to meet you finally. Is it okay? I think we have 20 minutes now.
Yes,
Is
I
it okay if
have
I
you.
put my watch on the table?
You are my boss, Kathy, so if you say 20 minutes, I have 20 minutes.
Okay, that's very good.
Yeah.
I'll just put my watch on the table to keep track of time. So, okay. What I really would like to do today, if it's okay, first I want to know you more. So you are the CEO of Microsoft?
Yes, I am.
Okay, of Vision, yes. And the sales manager of
he's
Vision.
new in the company.
Indeed. I'm new in the company. I worked for a company called In the Pocket before. Something very similar to what Vision is doing right now. Again, I have a very, very good history with Oracle. We've worked with Oracle in the past. But having said that, I'm not wedded to technology. But it's always sort of something that I'm thankful that Kathy has actually been taking this company so far in an exponential growth strategy, and it's my tough job now to sustain it. So that's pretty much what I'm here.
And first question: are there other people who would like to benefit from this conversation, or
From this conversation, no, hopefully from the tool, but I will take the final decision, but I will not make it without the full buy-in of the sales manager.
Okay.
So the two of us.
Okay, that's fine. So what I would really like to do today is really get to know your company in depth, what you are doing, and then also explain Microsoft CRM, of course, to you guys about what really the benefit will be for your organization, customized to your needs and your organization. So tell me a bit more about the company, because I heard about the big contract with Jive Systems in America, so the big American contract. As a Belgian company, I suppose you were very excited about that.
Yes, we were extremely happy about it. Thank you.
I can imagine. Can you? I know I think it's good times for your company. Can you tell me a bit about how the company is for the moment doing?
Yeah. So we think we're doing pretty well. After all, we only started 1.5 years ago. So today we are a company doing 8 million euros turnover with 10 salespeople. And we have a pretty aggressive growth plan going for 50 salespeople over the next 3 years, growing then to about 50 million euros. Okay. So very ambitious.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, that's very nice. That's a very ambitious strategy, but I like that. You want to grow, you say, to 50 salespeople in 3 years. How do you see guys handling that? Because I know it will be high growth rate every year. So how do you see handling that into the company, or which concerns do you have concerning this big growth? You might.
Well, first of all, we need to hire the right people. But if we have hired the right people, we also have give them the right tools to enable them doing their job. And I don't think that today we have them. They're pretty much all working independently from each other on spreadsheets, on isolated information, not structured, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Maybe you can add to that.
Absolutely. As Kathy was mentioning, we come from a system of hunters, mostly people who go and get the business development. But one of the things is, if you've been around for 1.5 years right now, we are also having customers who have been doing business with us for quite some time, and we need to take care of these customers and also make sure that we have farmers. And that's something that we as a company do not have.
Okay.
So which means that as we're becoming more and more into farming, we need a kind of 360-degree view of the customer, because the hunter might only see 1 or 2 people within the customer's organization, but the farmer or the key account manager might have access to more number of people. That's one of the big challenges we'll face as we grow. The next thing, of course, is that if you want to grow to 50 million, there's only so much we can grow with our existing customers. The next is we have to look at new customers, which means hunters, which means we need to start prospecting. We need to start generating leads. And if we have leads, then of course leads have to be at various levels. So which means we need to have a pipeline management system that can actually help us map where different customers are at what stages.
Okay.
This pipeline management is not only going to be helpful for us in terms of lead generation, it is also going to be important for us to measure the performance of each of the sales reps. And we want a common tool where we can actually measure on common standards what is the level of performance of each of the salesperson. Not as a way of necessarily punishing them for not achieving certain targets, but actually for us to be smart in allocating the right kind of targets to the right kind of people, so that based on that we will actually have a much clearer view of motivating our people.
Okay.
We want all this at the lowest possible price. That's the one thing. So that's the two of the main challenges that we have. So from a performance, so I think it's the duty of Kathy and myself to take every excuse away from the salesperson for not being on the field and not making the money. But we also want to have a tool that does not cost the moon. Of course, for everything that we ask, we can. If you have all the money in the world, we can do this. So that is pretty much the main challenge that I will face as a sales manager. And I guess Kathy is. If you have anything else, I think that's something.
Okay.
No, that's exactly what we're looking for.
That's nice, neat list, but I think it's a lot of needs we come across with, and because with the transition to Microsoft CRM. So to just wrap up the story, and so I think you really want one system that provides 360-degree view of the customer, and you want to really target the right customers. I think that's also very important for the moment. How is the collaboration between sales and marketing for the moment in your company?
Well, there is only one marketing person right now, and she's outsourcing a lot to an external company for the lead generation.
And do you know how, for the moment, they target the right customers? What do they use as a measurement to target the right customers? Which information do they use?
That company, you mean?
Yes. Or the marketing manager at your company? I don't know.
They are using. She's first of all starting from a target account list, and then doing a lot of online search using social media means to really detect the situation at the customer.
Okay. But
Indeed. And I think the challenge for us is she's doing a wonderful job given the limited resources. But getting our salespeople to see the value of what she's doing is a difficult beast altogether. Because the people in marketing have all this information, and essentially the person in marketing has one information, but it is not translatable if you're using Excel. Okay, so I see where you're going with this. So essentially what you want to see is how does that marketing information gets generated into a sales funnel for the salespeople to follow up.
Yes, true, but also I want to know if they're now, for the moment, the sales information, all the information that gathers on the field, is that also...
the answer is no.
Is that also for the marketing department visible? No. Okay, so no two-way communication. Okay, okay. And that's something you want to tackle too in the future?
Absolutely.
Well, you can easily see if you want to generate leads, that is going to be the future.
Indeed. Okay. And just a question maybe for the sales manager, I don't know. Do you know, have you an idea with the different Excel sheets and so on, how many time does your sales force for the moment spend on administration? For in hours? Or?
I'll be honest, as we say, the administration today is the salespeople fill in whatever they want. And I think one thing is for sure, is in the future we do not want a CRM tool that is going to be a lot of administrative time. So to be honest, right now I do not know, but they do have to fill up quite some paperwork, and probably 20 to 30% of their time could be administrative.
20 to 30%, okay.
So okay, indeed.
Okay. So actually at 20 to 30% of the time, that's almost, I guess, 38 hours a week. Something of nine hours a week? 9 hours a week per salesperson? Okay, so 9 hours a week per salesperson, and you have 10 salespersons, yes? So actually that's 90 hours a week your salespersons are now doing on administration, working on administration. I suppose that's really a lot. Do you know what they can maybe do in that time different? What would they? What would if we could take that away with the CRM system? What would they do with this at that time? Be at the customers.
Yes. They could sell, provided you tell me what your price is going to be. I think I can, of course, if I can get these people to bring in 10, 100,000 or 200,000 euros, that's great. But if your CRM system is going to cost me 150,000 euros, double, what's the point? So,
yeah, indeed.
So I understand where you're going with this, but then you raise the point. I was not going to raise the point about price. What are you going to price me at?
Do you want to know it by now? Because I really want to talk more first about our system. I really the value of our system, and then talk about the price.
System, if you don't mind me, Kathy, if the system is here or there, that's fine. But tell me the price, because the price you tell me, I can then go and ask Salesforce.com to give me the price. So that's what I want to know. Tell me what the price is.
Okay. So the price actually is one package. It's 35 euros per user per month, and there are no hidden costs. That's a major benefit we as Microsoft have. Also towards Salesforce.com, because there comes a lot of cost, extra features on top of that with Salesforce.com. So 35 euros per user per month, that's our cost. So actually if you compare that to the time, the 90 hours a week of your Salesforce that you can save, 90 hours a week, I don't know the real labor cost of one person, but per hour I guess it's like 20 euros, maybe, let me say 20 euros, so actually,
euros. We are not looking at Indian salespeople. We are looking at European salespeople, which is probably going to be much more expensive. So,
do you have an idea per hour? The cost for your company?
No, it depends. We also around 100 euros, maybe make it around 100 euros an hour.
Yes.
Okay, so if we then have a look at 90 hours you save per week, multiplied by 100 euros, it's 9,000 euros you would save per week on administration, because our CRM system, it really reduces a lot of your administration time.
Black or white, but yeah, I see where you're going with this.
Yeah. Indeed.
So that's fine, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So to wrap up, just what you're really looking for, it's you want one system, 360-degree view on the customer, low cost, like we offer at Microsoft, and you want also the two communication between marketing and sales. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe I'll now more tap into, I'll explain to you our system. So here you can see it is fully integrated into Outlook. I'll show you. It is so our CRM system is actually fully integrated into Outlook. It's a major benefit. You want to go for one system. So you only as a sales rep you have to use your email, so Outlook, and the CRM system is implemented into Outlook.
Wait a minute. Actually, we have Lotus Notes. No, we don't have Outlook. We work with Excel, but we have Lotus Notes.
Okay, but that's fine. That's no problem.
Is it going to have an impact on the price, or is 35 euros included for you to have a module that will make it accessible via Lotus Notes too?
I will have to check that with my IT guy, but I don't think that will be a major problem. Okay. But actually, maybe I'll just talk also about Outlook, because it's really a great program. So that you also see the benefit maybe to work with CRM integrated into our Outlook system. So here is an example, but you can also integrate it maybe in another system, or you can check it online, your CRM system. Here's an example how it is integrated into Outlook. So you get an email, you certainly see the 360-degree view of your customer, you see all the information about it. And here also it's all the social media things your customer are doing. I don't know if they now use social media to prepare for a sales call.
Well, our marketing, maybe this is a solution for our marketing team, because our marketing lady always complains that her database never gets used. So this could be a way of making it accessible to our salespeople. But how much time my salespeople have to? I don't think it's going to be easy that they just put in key markers or whatever that person there is, and automatically it searches the internet and then puts it in the system. Is that the way this works? Because I do not. You talked of administration time. I don't want my salesperson to fill out what is this person's Facebook name, what is this person's LinkedIn name. I don't want that happening.
Of course, when you have, it's integrated with Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and so on. So actually, it's a one-time thing you have to do. Is just put in the name in the system, and then the system search for on Facebook, LinkedIn, and you click with which the right person is, because you sometimes have.
I don't want to give more work more than necessary.
No, but it's really easy to use. That's also what we stand for at Microsoft. A really easy to use program for your sales reps too. So actually now they can look at all the social media tools like Facebook, LinkedIn. They can know what their customer is busy with, And maybe also it's really important. We see that a lot in other companies too, that they really, people are all into social media, so they use it really to prepare their sales call, and they can more tap into more personalized conversation, tap into what the customer is for the moment busy with. Would that sound like a benefit for you?
Yes, I think so.
No, it's on paper it sounds good. So yeah.
Okay. So that's the whole integration into Outlook and so on. And here you can see like to have a 360 review on your own performance as a sales rep, but also as a sales manager to look what your sales reps are doing. Here you can see, for example, the sales pipeline. You can see in which stage is every deal now for the moment. Is it the negotiations phase, for example? Are there a lot of sales in the negotiations phase? You can more adapt your performance and your behavior towards this phase. So it's really easy to adapt as yourself, as a sales rep or as a sales manager to adapt, to say to your sales reps, of course. So, and here you can also have track of your targets. So here you can see your target and see how far you are with from your target. So that's more about your sales performance. Does that look nice to you?
Yeah, but how easy is it to set up? Because we do not have IT people here.
Just to implement the system?
Yes, to this nice graphs, but
yes.
If we have IT people have to build it.
No. It's a one-time package. It's all included, and these dashboards, of course, are calculated by the numbers you give into the system as a sales rep. So this is by themselves. The system does it by himself. So actually, that's very easy. You just click on My Sales Performance, and you have a look at what you're doing for the moment as a sales rep. Mm-hmm. Okay. So.
If you don't mind me, Kathy, let's cut down to the chase. The fact is, what do you think as next steps? What do you think is expected from us? Because 35 euros that you said, is that the price you said, right?
Yes, 35 euros per user.
So if we grow as a company and we want to add more functionalities in it, would we get any discount for being a loyal customer, or by giving you volume discounts? We have 20, 25, 30 salespeople. Will you give us volume discounts, or will you include training in this? Because that's something that we have not talked about. Because our people need to be trained in this as well. So that's
of course.
something.
So actually, the basic price is 35 euros per month. The implementation is all included. But of course, we can maybe then discuss about the training facilities if you grow to more salespeople too. So I would like to suggest, now you have 10 salespeople. Are you willing to subscribe for your 10 salespeople and really go for this into the partnership?
You're the boss, Kathy.
Well, I heard some good things. Maybe let's start with some of them, not all
okay.
all at once, to try it out.
Okay, so that's really good. We can set up a pilot and really let it work for you, and then maybe afterwards, if you're not fan of it, we can pay it back. But if you're a fan of it, we just go through with each other. Okay, is that okay? So how many salespersons do you want to have for the pilots?
2 or 3, or
I have 3 or 4 good people, so including myself. So probably make it 4.
4? Okay, that's very good.
Unless you also want a view of what's happening. Would you want to
I would like to have access to the dashboards.
Then probably 5.
Yeah.
5? Okay. Please. Okay, that's very good. So I'll set up a contract to for 5 people. Would you just like to sign that we set up this agreement here?
Well, you know what? Send it by email, and then let's have a next meeting to then finally discuss some more of the things, because we also need to. You have given us quite some information that we need to think about it.
I like to read the small letters before.
Okay.
And I think you're right, Kathy. And I think we should also ask if you have any references or any other places. I don't want the big companies. I don't want the Unilevers, the P&Gs, the Ferreros of the world. I want the smaller companies.
I can imagine, because it's like your company is doing. But I will certainly provide you now also already with the reference list. And here you also have a leaflet with the benefits of our system. So, and would you be willing maybe to now close the letter of commitment instead of the real contract, the letter of commitment for the 5 salespeople, of course? Persons?
Give us time. I think we need at least...
You have my oral commitment, but let's wait for your final information.
We set up then a meeting for next week that we can discuss the little details?
Yes.
Sounds Friday good for you?
Yes, I think I'm available.
If you're available,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
available.
Yeah.
10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay,
Thanks
thank
a
you very
lot.
much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.